Better watch out! I'm the Rim Reaper.
Oh, it's the Can't Get Any Words podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well. This is the second time we're kicking this off because I just did that fancy little introduction there and I fucking knocked my phone off the edge of my little couch here. But anyway, we're ripping right in, guys. Like I said, I hope we're all well. But my lord, let's rip into that opening clip before we keep going.
Better watch out! I'm the Rim Reaper.
You better watch out, guys. That guy is not coming for your soul. He's coming for your whole. Holy fuck. The old Rim Reaper. The old Rim Reaper. Jeez. Look, if that is not the episode title, this better be a fucking cracking episode. But, yeah, what are we all up to this week? I hope we're all kicking off the week with a bang. It is school holidays here again today. And last week I had Westy here, and he kept himself pretty occupied on the other side of this wall. And I trust he's going to do the same again today. But we've got another curveball today. We've got young Parker home today also. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, why? Why is he home? He normally has daycare or kindy or whatever it is on a Monday, and daycares don't get school holidays. So why could he possibly be home? And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the reason Parker is home today is because Nikita had a bad dream last night. She had a bad dream last night that Parker had a bad day at kindy. So she goes, hey, do you reckon you could keep Parker home today? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I've got a lot to do today, babe. I've got the podcast to record, edit, post. I've got the UFC breakdown to get ready for Thursday this week. I've got a potential guest episode that just seems to keep bumping, but fingers are crossed, guys. When it does happen, it's going to happen, and I'll be stoked for it. And on top of that, this is pretty much the last week that I've got to learn, rehearse, practice, fucking everything for the solo show. So I've got a lot on my plate, but sure, seeing as you had a bad dream, let's keep him home. So, so far so good. He seems pretty occupied out there. My lord, forgot to turn notifications off again. Let's hope that I don't get too many notifications throughout this episode. But yeah, it has been, look, I know I say this quite a bit on the podcast, all right? But when I say this week that it has been a chaotic week, I fucking mean it. I literally today, I woke up and I just felt so burnt out. Like, body is just aching so hard. My brain is just frazzled, and I just cannot wait for next Tuesday once this solo show is just like, not even necessarily out of my head, but it's just the monkey's off my back. It's out there. It's in the world. Whether I fuck it up, whether I sell no tickets, it is what it is now. You know what I mean? Like, I got a couple of last-minute promo videos filmed, ready to post throughout this week. I think I dropped the truck one this week, and appreciate everyone that liked that and shared it and shit. It got a decent amount of views, which I was stoked for. I'm going to put some paid advertising behind that later today when I finally work out how to do that. I tried to do it over the weekend, and I was just like, this is too much. So I can only imagine it's only going to be easier when I'm got both the boys home just in my ear holes. So got that one, and then I got another few coming this week. So anyone that is listening, sees them, gets a bit of a chuckle out of them, throw it up on your stories, tag me. It'll be greatly appreciated because, like I said, the more bodies in the room, the better. The more comfortable I'm going to feel up on stage. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be nothing worse if I get there and there's like 10 people there. Like, it's worst case scenario for me. I feed off the bigger rooms, the more laughter, yada, yada, yada. Because imagine, at least if there's 50 people there, there's a high chance that at least 5 of those people are going to laugh at something. Whereas if there's 10 people there, you'll be lucky if one of them like lets out a little chuckle in front of the other people. So is what it is. I'm insanely stressed about the whole thing, but it is, hey, it's in the universe's hands right now. So let's move on to some other chaos that's happened this week. Last Tuesdays are a pretty chaotic afternoon in our house, okay? And so I had work, got home from work, went and picked the kids up. I pick Westy up and he goes, oh, so bit of backstory, I suppose. Mum's friends' dogs, Mum's looking after her friends' dogs while they're on a cruise or something. And I pick Westy up, he goes, oh, I saw Nanny's dogs today while I was at vacation care. And I'm like, oh, really? Did they go back home? He's like, oh, I don't know. The teachers wouldn't let me out to take them back home. And I'm like, okay, fair enough, I suppose. You can't just let a kid out if they're like, hey, I know that dog, and then the kid never comes back. Pretty hard to explain to the parents. If I rock up and I'm like, what fucking dogs? Leaves the vacation care in a sticky situation. So I go, oh, Westy, what time was this? He goes, oh, like half an hour ago. So I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So I start trying to call my dad. He's not answering. Call my mum, and she goes, oh, I finish in half an hour. I'll deal with it then. So I get home, and then Westy's getting ready for boxing training, and it's just, he does not want to go to boxing, okay? And I'm going, nah, you've committed, you've signed up, you're going to boxing. No ifs, buts, or maybes, we're going to boxing. And he's like, nah, kicking and screaming. So I've had to pull out every trick in the book to try and get him to go to boxing. Anyway, finally get him in his clothes, and I'm scrolling on Facebook until it's time to go. And I see on the local community page, the two dogs that Mum's looking after are at Westy's school in the preschool section. They're like, are these anyone's dogs? The council's on their way. And I'm like, fuck. So now I've gone, okay, well, now I'm going to have to go get these dogs so Mum and Dad don't get copped with like a council bill to, I don't know, is that even a thing? I swear that's a thing. Like one of our old dogs got out and the council picked it up, and I think we had to pay like, I don't know, $150 or something just to get it out of the pound, which is fucked up. Because like accidents happen, you know what they say? And so I go to the school, I get these dogs, and the time is just ticking away, right? It's, like I said, chaos. Things are thousands of moving parts, and I'm trying to make it all come together. I'm like Neo from The Matrix, that film that I've never seen, but I'm assuming he makes like lots of stuff come together from what I've seen in trailers and shit. That's probably pissed off a lot of Matrix fans. Anyway, get the dogs home. Mum and Dad rock up at the same time, do the handover with the dogs. And I go, okay, fuck, Westy, did you bring your boxing bag? Nah, not actual boxing bag. He doesn't have to carry an entire boxing bag with him to every session. I mean his bag that he takes to boxing with his mouth guard, his water bottle, his gloves, yada, yada, yada. He goes, oh, no, I didn't put it in the car. So we speed back home, right? And at this stage, it's like 5 minutes till boxing starts. Luckily, we live about 5 minutes from the boxing gym. And I go, oh, okay, quickly pull up at home, run in, get his bag, speed to boxing. And we get there. The car park's pretty quiet. And Westy's like, this is weird. And I'm like, yeah, this is weird. Maybe like there's a heap of kids not coming today or something. Who knows? We walk into the gym. Westy's boxing coach gives me the most confused look in his life. And I've gone, oh, hey, how's it going? He's like, I told you last week, no boxing during school holidays. And I was like, fuck me. Of course you did. Now it is clear as mud in my head that you did distinctively say that to my face, as if I was the most like stupid parent in the class that you had to specifically come to me and be like, hey buddy, no boxing for the next couple of weeks. We'll shoot you a text when we're ready to get your kid back. So yeah, fuck my life. Just the chaos. And then like he's looking out the door and Westy's already back in my car, like trying to open the door. He's like, what's the matter, Westy? Didn't you want to do boxing today? I'm like, I literally had to fucking drag him here for this. And now I just have to hear about how he was right the entire drive home. So friendly reminder, that actually just triggered me in my brain. James, future James, you don't have boxing tomorrow afternoon. The day this comes out, do not take Westy to boxing. And if you do, my Lord, I'm going to punch you in the dick. But yeah, let's look at this, guys. Look at this little can of juicy deliciousness right here. Celsius. I know you haven't come on board to sponsor the podcast just yet, but my Lord, I can't fight it anymore. I know I just took like a couple of weeks off from drinking it on the podcast, but the love runs deep. And my Lord, this flavour, I think it's a new flavour. I've only seen it recently at the servo near me. mango lemonade. Oh, gosh. It's like an orgasm in the mouth. Celsius. I'm not sure if you're cool with all the R-rated shit, but if you sponsor the podcast, we're going to have to get onto it pretty quick. So let me have a sip of this. Oh, my God, guys. Go to your closest servo or whatever. Get a can of that today. That is so fucking good. Just a good, delicious, fruity, summery drink. And I'm actually triggered today by today's episode. It is the warmest the studio's been in a few months. So I am dreading these summer months in this boiling hot studio. The old sweat box is going to be back. The old sauna studio, I reckon. But we are going straight into another fucking, what's the word? Customer service meltdown from this week. And you'll never guess what franchise it's behind. Our friends at Subway. As fucking Hamish and Andy say, okay? I grew up with Hamish and Andy, idolized them for the longest time. Potentially in the back of my mind, possibly a big reason why I'm doing podcasting and shit. Just listening to their radio show, having a laugh. Who knows? But as they quite often say, Hamish in particular, he's blowing something wide open. And I feel like my rants on Subway over the last year or so, I feel like I'm blowing Subway wide open because I've got another Subway story for you guys today, and it involves the exact same Subway and the exact same worker that I ranted about only a few weeks ago, okay? About Thursday, Friday last week. It's quite often that we run out of food from the grocery shop around that mark, or something happens, like Thursday we got sport or whatever, we get home, can't be fucked making lunches. So Nikita goes, oh, you sweet to buy lunch tomorrow? And I go, I would love nothing more than that. You know what? It's been a hard week. I would love a delicious little treat to finish off my week. So I go down to the local Subway near my work, and I met with the same guy that fucked up my order. And I go, look, surely he's got everything sorted by now. He called up the podcast a few weeks ago and he left a little voice note for me. Actually, no, that was Jared from Subway. Oh, God. We've actually got a couple of calls at the end of this episode, so stay tuned. But yes, go there. I met with the same Subway same Subway guy that fucked up my order last time. I go, hey, mate, how you going? He goes, oh, yeah, good. He goes, what bread can I get you? I go, just the Italian herbs and cheese, please. He gets it out. Now, I'll give you a couple of seconds. Guess what this guy asked me after he has got the bread out of the oven, put it onto the counter, cut it in half, flipped it open. I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably sitting there brainstorming going, well, of course he's asked you what meat you want. Like that is step one after the bread. That is what I would have assumed. This guy looks me in the eyes and goes, what salads are you wanting today, mate? Excuse me? What salads? How about my meat? How about my cheese? How about are you toasting it or would you like it fresh? You know what I mean? He just skipped my entire sandwich. He's just fucking, at this stage, my local Subway is just serving me disappointment in a sub. And I'm fucking over it. So screw you, local Subway. Luckily, look, I don't want to shit on the guy too much. He did, as soon as he said it, he realized that he was a fucking idiot. And he goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What meat do you want? And I'm like, that's better. You will be hearing about this on the podcast this week again. So yeah, I'm not happy with Subway. I'm not happy at all. And speaking about people I'm not happy with, anyone that follows my personal Instagram would have seen a little story I put up earlier this week. Another place I'm not happy with at the moment is my gym. And you guys are probably like, oh no, is your little gym buddy back? And no, I actually haven't seen him for probably about a month now, which is weird. I hope he's all good. I hope he didn't go for like a four-wheel driving trip in his Navara and like roll it or something. But yeah, I have not seen that guy. Or he's just like, he's either heard the podcast, got depressed about the way I'm speaking about him and like discovered that we aren't actually friends and now he's eating his way back up to 100 kilos. Who fucking knows? But anyway, my issue with the gym this week, I go there early in the morning and I start my usual workouts, right? I got my own little circuit that I've done for the last couple of years. I just like to do things in a certain order. And I go in there and I go to the weight rack with the dumbbells on it. And I've started to work my way up the rack. And I've gone, these are feeling like a little bit lighter than usual. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm throwing these around pretty quickly. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm just getting stronger or something. Now, little did I know that my gym played a little prank on us during the night. They punked us, like early 2000 Ashton Kutcher. They fucking replaced all their dumbbells. And like, I'll admit, I wasn't a complete idiot. I did see the new dumbbells and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like fucking updated the dumbbells. The other ones were getting a bit ratty, like the plastic was falling off them and shit like that. And what they haven't done is they haven't replaced the exact weight with the exact weight. That's God, that sentence just fucked with my head. You know what I mean? Like they haven't replaced a 15 kilo weight with a 15 kilo weight. They've got this new system. So they've kept the old weight rack. So now, for example, a 17.5 sticker now has like a 16 kilo weight on it. And it is fucking with my OCD bad. Like it's giving me false hope. Like I'm throwing weights around the gym thinking that I'm setting PBs and shit. Meanwhile, I'm just still weak as piss and it is really fucking agitating me. So I don't know. Would that fuck with any of your guys' OCD if that happened to you? Because I don't know if it's just my stupid brain or whether it's a valid point. And I don't know. I'm getting ready to go to reception and complain. But speaking about complaining, look, this has been a heavily rant-orientated start to the podcast, hasn't it? It's been a while since I've been ranting and breaking down companies. But let me have another sip of this delicious Celsius green tea extract, no aspartame, and zero sugar. Wow, it's just health in a drink. Oh, I'm telling you guys, that mango lemonade, it is bellissimo, as they say in the Italia. So, my weekend, we did a bit of shit around the house, okay? And we're going to get to that further in the episode. But what I want to talk about is Bunnings. Now, it's pretty un-Australian to go to Bunnings on the weekend and not get a sausage sizzle, okay? Pretty much every time we go on the weekend, we get a couple of snags and it's just the highlight of the Bunnings trip. It can like smooth over any arguments, anything that Bunnings didn't have. Like you go there, you're like, fuck, I really need a roof sheet so that my roof doesn't leak tonight. They're out of roof sheeting, but you can still get a sausage and the drive home is pretty pleasurable. You know what I mean? I go there on Saturday. We get a heap of shit. We put it in the ute and Nikita goes, oh, can you go get a couple of sausages? And I'm like, yeah, righto. Like I prefer it when she goes and gets it. I hate the small talk and it's always like a charity. So you can't be rude. You can't be like, just give me my fucking sausage because it's like donate to the sick kids. And I'm like, fuck my life. Anyway, I'm not going to say who the charity was on Saturday, but I expected better. So I'm lined up. I'm waiting for my sausage. There's probably 3 guys in front of me standing off to the side. And I moved to the other side because there's not enough room on that side. So I'm near the workers. And one guy comes back and he goes, oh, I went inside to ask him if they got any silver coins we can use as change, but they said they can't do that. We're responsible of our own change, yada, yada, yada. He's like, I only got gold coins. I wasn't even thinking. And this guy's stressing out. And all of a sudden, one of the ladies goes, well, that's okay. We can use it to our advantage. And my ears have perked up. I've gone, what could this lady possibly be talking about? And she goes, well, now it is highly likely if we go, oh, that'll be $7.50 and they give us a $10 note, but we don't have like the 50 cents to give them back. They'll just go, oh, just keep it and we'll end up making more money. And I was like, you fucking snakes. That is just so dog for a charity to do. And like, there was that one dude and the rest were all women. And I don't want to be sexist about my sausage sizzles at Bunnings. I get a little bit nervous, but I will give the women that. They cooked a mean sausage on Saturday. But the whole thing, remember how they redid like the Oceans franchise where they used to be, hey, I've never actually seen it, okay? And I know that might surprise some of you guys. But I feel like they remade it with an all-female cast. That's what this felt like. This felt like the charity version of Ocean's 11 or whatever the fuck it was. They were just trying to rip people off left, right, and center out there, the dogs. So I should name and shame them. But if you're a charity doing a sausage sizzle, do the right thing. You know what I mean? We're all here to help each other. So I need another drink after that. This is just a funny little thing. I was watching, just scrolling through my reels, this week, and one popped up, and I was like, holy fuck, that actually happened. And I remember it clear as day. My generation, okay? I'm 33 now, born in 1992. I reckon if you were born between, say, 1988 to the year 2000, you probably did this throughout your entire childhood. And it just made me think how different things are today. And I'm a big advocate of people don't work as hard as they used to back in the day. And kids these days, they're ruining the industry, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw this reel and I'm like, holy shit, do people work harder these days? Like, what is the go? And the reel it was just a lady, and she was like, do you remember when you were a kid and you used to call your mum's work 10 times a day to ask the stupidest shit? Like, Mum, can I open this box of pizza shapes? And just now that you're older, just think back and think of how much of a nuisance that used to be. Like, you'd get the receptionist and you'd just be like, hi, it's James. Is my mum around? And then they'd have to go and find your mum, who's probably like doing an important job at the time. She has to walk all the way to the office to the landline. They're like, hey, what's up? And then I'd be like, oh, Mum, can I open the chocolate biscuits? Like, what the fuck? Like, what were we doing as kids? And that would happen. Like, I reckon legit, if I had to round it up, probably 4 times a week, I reckon I called my mum's work asking for her just for the stupidest shit. Mum, can I go ride my bike? Sure. I don't give a fuck. Like, it is crazy. And then that made me think of like today, like now Nikita calls me when I'm at work and she's like, babe, you need to come home. Parker's in hospital. He's cracked his head open. And I have to be like, oh, babe, can it wait? Like I've just got a lot on today, you know? Like important shit. I'm just like, oh, work fucking, I'm at work. There's nothing I can do. Like, could you imagine if Westy calls me and I'm in a meeting with a builder or something. We're trying to finalize an important bit of information for a build. And Westy just calls me. He's like, hey, Dad, can I fucking open the Doritos? Sure, buddy. Sure. That was worth leaving this meeting for. But, yeah, I don't know if that gave you a bit of nostalgia just then, but it fully just made me think back of how stupid we were as kids. And I know I'm not alone. I know there were thousands of likes and comments on that thing. So hopefully that triggered a little memory for you guys. I think we're due for another clip. Let's open this one. I thought I'd drop this after talking about calling my mum at work because my mum bought one of these. My mum bought one of these a couple of years ago and the kids fucking love it. So let's hit play.
I'm on what I call the jiggler, and you're jiggling with me. So actually, this is great for toning your muscles and for neuropathy and for tightening up.
Oh.
You just do it for 10 minutes, and boy, it makes a difference.
10 minutes on the jiggler will tighten you right up. Jesus Christ. I felt like an infomercial for Parkinson's. Oh, God. She was loving it. I think she was getting a bit more enjoyment out of that than just tightening up, if you know what I mean. She was tightening up in other places that the jiggler is not supposed to tighten you up in. But let's rip into my weekend. Had a bit of it was a bit of a good weekend, a nice wholesome weekend with the family. So it was quite nice. Saturday, we ended up like, look, how do I even get into this? Okay. Long-time listeners of the podcast know that our retaining wall between the neighbour and our house has been fallen over for over 18 months now. It'll be 2 years in February that it's been collapsed into our yard. Still not fixed, but it is now at the point where like we need to get our yard back. Our backyard, we've just neglected it for literally the last 2 years because we've been like, well, we don't want to do all this work just for it to get wrecked when like excavators and shit like that come through the backyard because they've got to fix it from our side. And well, we're at the point where like, fuck it. Like we've pulled down all our garden sheds, yada, yada, yada. So everything that's meant to be in our sheds is just in our back patio at the moment. And it's depressing to walk out there every day and just shit spread everywhere. The lawn looks shit. Our little fire pit section looks like shit. It's just overgrown with weeds and stuff. So Nikita and I discussed this week and we're like, nah, we need to get on top of it. Let's just do it. whatever damage comes when that eventually gets fixed, we're just going to have to deal with it, is what it is. So over the weekend, I thought first thing is first, we need to, because when we ripped the garden sheds down, we were going to move the garden sheds and just get like those slimline ones you can get these days? They're like slim, but they're super long. So we got one of those bad boys and put them down the back, put it like on the back of our house. Fits the spot perfectly. And so I was like, okay, well, let's start with that because then we can move all this shit back into a shed, and that feels like step one. So we went to Bunnings, we bought a shed and just a heap of shit to make where we were putting the shed level and flat and yada, yada, yada. Just all the lame shit that you've got to do. And I was like, how hard can a garden shed be? You know what I mean? I'll knock this bad boy over in a couple of hours. My Lord, whoever invented the instructions for garden sheds, give yourself an uppercut. I thought trampolines were hard to build. Garden sheds are a whole nother level. And like the other thing, the tin and shit is so sharp. Like, praise the Lord, I got away pretty scot-free. I got no cuts, but it was only like a matter of seconds before something bad happened. But yeah, I just had a mental blank of where the fuck I was taking that story. But yeah, pretty much 8 hours later, got this shed built. I've still got to screw it to the house, and I've still got to fucking fill it with all the shit today after this episode. But yeah, that was not very fun, but we did all pitch in as a family and we just got it done, you know what I mean? So I guess that was the wholesome part of it. And I sort of said, I'm like, look, if we put in 1,000,000% on Saturday, let's have a bit of a cruisy, chilled day on Sunday. And Nikita was all for it. She's like, yeah, 100%. The boys have been hustling us now for the last couple of weeks now that's starting to heat up to go down to the beach. And yeah, we went down to the beach early Sunday morning. And it was pretty overcast. We're like, oh, fuck, this is the worst beach day ever. By the time we got down to the Gold Coast, sunny as fuck. It was hot, and it was just like perfect morning. And it was probably the best beach day we've had with the boys ever. So both our boys hate water. Well, I shouldn't say that. They don't hate water. They like sitting in water, but they hate like the whole swimming aspect and stuff like that. Like Westy just panics. Like for example, on Sunday, he got dunked by a couple of waves, and it was like, dude, it's up to our ankles, just stand up. But he was pretending he was at the bottom of the Titanic. He was like, holy shit, I'm done for. And I'd just like lift him up on his legs. He'd be like, oh, thank God. So yeah, that was probably the most confident they had been in the ocean. And I was just so stoked for them. We're all having fun. We took a footy down. We're kicking the footy along the beach. It was just a sick time. And we ended up going like, look, I don't like going deep, okay? I fucking hate not being able to see at the bottom. I'm just preparing myself the entire time for a shark to bite my leg off or something. And yeah, we ended up going out probably to my waist. So I was like up to the boys' like upper chest, like just above their nips and shit. And yeah, speaking about nips, I don't have the summer bod ready yet. I don't know if you guys watching on YouTube can tell that. But yeah, I definitely still got these big juicy titties hiding. Oh, big juicy titties just hiding under this shirt right now. So I wore the old NBA jersey in the water. Yeah, I know it's not quite the rash shirt. It's a step up from the rash shirt. You know what I mean? I think it's like a little bit cooler than the old rashy, but yeah, nothing like getting sunburned and sweaty and a bit of polyester in the ocean. So yeah, it was a good day. I feel a little bit burnt. I'm actually not too bad. Nikita probably got it the worst out of all of us. So then to wrap up the weekend yesterday, let's rip right in. So I said to Nikita, I'm like, look, solo show's coming up. I feel like I need to be doing something more. Like I'm doing everything. I've jumped on 4 podcasts. Another one comes out today, so give that a listen. The Overworked and Underfucked podcast. Jump on, give that a listen. Drops today. Should be out by the time this episode comes out. So show that some love. And then, yeah, I've jumped on all these podcasts. I've done all these posts and shit. I've jumped on every community group I can fucking get on that has approved my post. I've put it on Blokes Advice, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, tickets are just stagnant. You know what I mean? They just don't seem to be moving. Every time I check in with the venue, they're just telling me the same amount has sold. And I'm like, fuck. Just let me silence this. Oh, no, you're joking. All these are going to fucking keep coming through now. I forget how I silenced them last week. Did I even end up silencing them? Silencing them? I don't know. Where is sound? Sound. I don't know. Let's just hope. Hang on. What if I just type in silence? This is good podcasting, guys. Silence notifications. Oh, here we go. Oh, what's this little button? Yes, let's do this. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that worked. Yes. All right. We're on, guys. Look at that. Becoming the king of podcasting. If another notification comes through after this, I'm going to flip. Anyway, so I said to Nikita, I'm like, look, I've been thinking, I went and got a heap of flyers printed. I got like 100 printed and they give you like an extra 25 or something, some deal that I got. And I was like, I handed out a couple on Monday. I was at the Newmarket Hotel and I was just like, oh, fuck, like, cool. I've done a little bit more, but it just didn't feel like much, okay? I'm exactly the same way. Someone gives me a piece of paper, I pretend to be interested, throw it in the bin 100 meters up the road. And I know that's all flyering is, but it just, at least it makes you feel like you're doing something. So I said to Nikita, I'm like, look, there's a big final on Sunday Arvo, Broncos versus Panthers. Shout out to the Broncos for getting up. And I was like, look, Caxton Street that the show's going to be on is going to be literally jam-packed, like sold out Suncorp Stadium and all that foot traffic. What if I just stood there with my flyers? And she's like, look, if you want to, she's like, just understand that 99% of them are going to fucking hate you and not want to do it. And I'm like, look, completely get it. Like, that was the part that I was least worried about, to be honest. Like, that shit doesn't affect me anymore. And I don't know if it's like from countless bombs up on stage that you just develop that part of your brain or something. But I'm completely fine with that now. Like, just standing there going, oh, interested in some stand-up, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you just get shut down time after time. That shit doesn't bother me. Now, I've got up there. I filmed a bit of like a promo. I got up there about halftime, okay? Filmed a bit of a promo video that I'll release on my socials if I can chop something good up out of it. Probably like the day before the show. And it'll be like my closing fucking reel, if you will, before the show. And so I filmed all that, took the camera back to the car. I've gone back up and Westy left he's got this small little Nike bag and it's just perfect flyer size. So I put all my flyers in there, go back up Caxton Street, watch the end of the Broncos game on the TV they've got outside Suncorp. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is sick. I stand just near the Caxton Hotel. And as I'm walking up there, I'm go to pull out a handful of flyers. I probably pull out about 50 or so, right? A big chunk of them. And as I've pulled them out, I've got them in my hand and I'm trying to zip the bag back up. And the absolute worst case scenario happened, okay? I did not prepare myself for this. Trying to zip the bag back up, the zip on the bag is jammed. So I'm reefing. And as I've done that, obviously the flyers are not in my hand as securely as they should be. So as I've done that, a big gust of wind, I should say, and just fucking taken these flyers out of my hand, flyers everywhere. My God, it was literally top 3 most embarrassing moments of my life as a sold-out Suncorp Stadium just starts parading towards me, and these flyers are now all over the ground. Now, shout out to a lovely couple. They saw it happen, and this lady and her husband or whatever come running up. They start trying to help me pick them up, and like I said, it was windy as shit. There was no way we were picking all this up. So I've just gone, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it, but we're not getting these back. So I moved over, walked like 20 meters up the road, and I'm starting to try to give flyers out. And at this stage, I'm just so fucking deflated. I'm like, this is so humiliating, so embarrassing. And I just did not prepare myself for that first time. So I'm handing them out. And like I ended up handing out maybe 20, 30 flyers, which was probably more than I expected, to be honest. So shout out to all those guys that did take them. And walking back to my car, I text Nikita. I'm like, fuck me, worst case scenario. Dropped all my flyers. They're all over the street. And she starts feeling bad for me. And I'm like, that's all good. Like, fucking, I'll be fine. And she's like, I'm just imagining. And don't get me wrong, if this happened to someone, if Ash texts me, he's like, oh, I was doing flying, I dropped all my flyers, I'd be having a laugh as well, okay? But, yeah, fucking, she starts feeling sorry for me. And I'm like, it's all good, babe. Get back to the car, throw a couple of stories up, and straight away I'm just getting traction. Message after message, like, reactions. And I'm like, fuck, this is probably doing me better than the flying would have. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, call Nikita. I'm like, I feel like I should go back and just pick up the flyers. Like, it's got my name plastered all over them. It's got the club's name plastered all over them. I don't want either of us to get in trouble, you know what I mean, for littering. You know, maybe if I didn't have the club's name on it, maybe I would have left it, because realistically, if they watched it back on the cameras, you can see it was an accident. I didn't like do a plane drop or something. So I go back and the crowd is just still funneling out. So I stand off to the side and I'm just watching all these people walk over 50 of my flyers, and there's like people like, this is probably the part that hurt the most, to be honest. It's just watching a crowd of people just stomp your face and like kick your flyers, and just hearing people audibly be like, who the fuck's Jimmy missing? What the fuck? Who would want to go to this fucking shit? And just me just standing off in the shadows, just like, fuck my life. This is so humiliating. So the crowd ended up dying down, and I was there. Like, I was sitting there for about 45 minutes just waiting for people to stop trampling on my face. And I was like, fuck. Eventually, there was still maybe like 20 people at a time coming across where they were all spilt. And I'm like, fuck, I just got to go and do it. Like, otherwise, I'm over it. I want to go home. I'll be here till midnight if I wait for absolutely nobody. So I start the embarrassing thing of just bending down, picking up flyer by flyer. And like I said, there's probably 50 on the ground. And I'm picking them up. First thing, I look up and I see Bronco's great. I think he went to the Cowboys to finish his career. Pretty sure he played a few Origins. Ben Hannant, he walks past. I'm like, hey, mate, how you going? And he just sort of, he gives me a hey and just sort of brushes me off. And I was like, fuck, sick. He probably thinks I'm the biggest fucking loser just picking all this up. Next one, Shane Webke. Bronco's fucking great that I looked up to when I was a kid. Walks past me. I'm like, oh, Shane, how you going? He goes, oh, yeah, good, mate. Side eyes me again. Walks past. And I'm like, sick. And like in my head, I'm like, fuck yeah. Imagine if like Shane Webke's like, oh, hey, mate, how you going? Oh, you drop all your shit. And then I'll be like, yeah, I dropped all my flyers. Do you mind if we quickly jump on my Instagram stories and you tell people to come to my show? That was what I was thinking in my head, but these guys were looking at me like I was fucking scum. Last one, Corey Parker. Again, Broncos and Origin great. Walks past me. Fellow Logan boy, I will add. Walks past me, and his reaction made it feel like I was asking him for fucking money or something. He pulled his phone out of his pocket and basically ignored me and kept texting, and I was like, fuck my life. Like, these guys are just looking at me like I'm a dirty crack whore just picking up paper to keep warm that night. Like, literally so fucking embarrassing. It was just embarrassing moment after embarrassing moment, and I hated every second of it. But got out there, did what I had to do, picked it all up. I might have missed one or two, but yeah, it was humiliating shit, guys. So grab some tickets, Epiphany, October 7th. Please share that shit around. We've got one more clip, I think. I think this is the last clip, possibly. Oh, no, we've got two more. So let's play this one. What's this bloke doing? Looks like a nice bloke in a hoodie.
Milady, would you like some of this morning tongue?
Oh, Lord.
It has been known to make a kitty calm.
Oh, the internet is not for everyone, guys. There are some guys, if you're on the internet and you say, my tongue is known to make a kitty calm, log off forever. You are not needed on the internet. My Lord, that made me feel fucking dirty. But that guy did have quite a long tongue. So swings and roundabouts, guys, swings and roundabouts. But let's recap on my week in comedy real quick. Monday night, had Newmarket Hotel up there for sit-down comedy. And look, I went up there with full intent to run a heap of new gear, okay? Got up there, I was practicing the new gear, went out, handed a couple of flyers out, like I said, and went up there and I was like, I don't know, I was on just after the break. So the person before me, love this guy in the scene, hilarious, but all his jokes are on like the darker side. Like I played Anthony Jeselnik last week as the funny clip of the week, and this guy is like prime example along that train of thought. And he's trying to heap a new shit up there, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Like when he gets that dialed in, it's going to be so good. But running that shit for the first time in front of a crowd, there's nothing worse, okay? There's nothing worse. I've been there. My shit is not as intense as that anymore, but he got up there and this crowd was just, they were not for it, okay? There was maybe like 20 people there, so it was a relatively quiet night. And already up until that, it was a somewhat quiet crowd. And he got up there and just like I hate saying it, but pretty much zapped the energy out of the room. And I was like, fuck. And I was up next and I'm like, surely the MC will just do something, get him back into the vibe of things, bring the spirits back up. And the MC just goes, all right, well, let's put it together for your next act, Jimmy Missing. And I'm like, fuck my life. So straight away as I'm walking the stage, I'm like, you're just going to have to do it. So I sacrificed. I felt noble. I felt like the noble man in the Brisbane comedy scene on Monday night. Sacrificed all my new shit to just do a safe, down the barrel, safe set of just classics that I knew would work. And look, it wasn't the biggest crush, but it was pumped the energy back in the room, got the laughter up, and hopefully set up the rest of the comedians for a sick night. But yeah, I hated myself for not running the new gear, but I also, I don't know what the word is, like felt proud of myself, I guess, to have the mindset of like, okay, your new shit's going to fucking bomb anyway, cockhead. Just pump the room back up. Try get some happiness back in the room. So yeah, I was happy for myself there being a team player on that one. Then Thursday night had a prey surf down at Burleigh. And like I said, last week it was a jam-packed show. And I was like, okay, although it was jam-packed last week, it was not a great show. I just felt like I was talking into the void. Got there this week, there was about 15 people there, and I'm like, okay, this is much more manageable. Everyone seemed happy. Everyone seemed stoked to be there. And as soon as the comedy started, again, they just weren't buying in, and I was like, fuck. So got up there, ran a couple of new bits, ran a couple of classics, and they were just like, look, the guy, there was probably a table of 8 at the very front, and these guys were just like, they weren't necessarily, it felt like they were making more fun of us than like joining in. Like I'd say a punchline, they'd be like, oh yeah, nah, 100%. And I'd be like, you fucking idiots. So like the only shit that really worked well with them was when I broke out of my set and just did like a bit of crowd work and just acknowledged like how shit I'm doing and fuck my life and blah, blah, blah. So look, it was an okay set, but the kicker, like, and this actually crushed. Well, didn't crush, but like got as much laughs as I could at that point in time. But the MC introduced me and they're like, oh, next act, Jimmy Missing. He's just been given his first solo hour show. So give it up for him. He's probably going to run some new gear from that show. I'm like, fuck. And then I started bombing and I was just like, fuck me. You guys are probably sitting there going, oh my God, they give anyone an hour these days. And I was like, pretty much. So that got a bit of a chuckle. So yeah, my Lord. Tough night on the mic this week, but got a couple of gigs this week before the solo show this week. And yeah, let's just hope they go a little bit better. My recommendation for the week, Nikita and I watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix. Apparently it came out last year, but it's in like the top 10 at the moment. So I don't know if Netflix has just released it recently, but not a bad movie. Look, it's not a blockbuster flick, but if you're on the doom scroll of Netflix looking for something to watch, throw that one on. It's not a bad watch. It goes for 2 hours, which is probably a little bit too long in my opinion, but yeah, pretty cool watch. Oh, all right. Let's play our last clip before we rip into our calls for the week. We got this bad boy here. Oh, where did that just go? All right.
Check this out. This is a drone made by the government. It's called a cicada, but these are actually made by the government.
Right.
People think that they're bugs, but this is your government spying on you, bro. This is your government.
Shit, I didn't even know. I hope you guys know that bugs are just our government spying on us. So, my lord, down the rabbit hole that old guy is. He's into more conspiracies than Ash used to be back in the day. Oh, God. All right, let's rip into the calls for the week. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably sitting there going, oh, fucking, this is going to be Jay. Oh,
Jim.
All right, let me restart that. First call.
Jimmy, a.k.a. the Salt and Pepper Stallion. How are you, brother?
Good, mate.
It's Langham here from the Two Piss Cans podcast. Just ready to crack a beer and have a 10.
Oh, nice crack.
Yeah. Mate, I just wanted to ring up and just say a massive thank you on behalf of us boys from the Two Piss Cans podcast for coming down, making the travels, staying the night at your hotel. All expenses paid, obviously, by you. We just wanted to say a massive thanks, mate. Sorry that you almost shit yourself. But hey, it's a bit of a story. I just wanted to say also good luck on the show coming up in the next, I think, 2 weeks, I think it is. Yeah, just wanted to say a massive good luck to you. And, mate, we love you. And we'll fucking catch up very shortly. See you later, legend.
Fucking oath. Thanks, boys. Yeah, like I said, had a cracker of a time down there with the Two Piss Cans, and the honour was all mine, boys. I've fucking obviously been following your content for a while now, and yeah, keen to come down and have a laugh. So I was absolutely stoked with how that episode came out. So yeah, the honour was all mine, and like we spoke about down there, whenever you guys are up at Brisbane or the GC, you'll be on these couches over here on the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. So shout out to you guys. Thanks again for calling in. And we've got one more from
Jimmy.
Oh, one more from a way back follower. So I haven't listened to this yet. Hand on heart, definitely haven't listened to this. So if there's anything a bit rogue, at least I can edit it out in the post-edit.
Jimmy, love your work, mate. I've got a bit of a Subway yarn for you. So a couple of weeks ago, I've decided that I'm going to get Subway for dinner. Well, the missus gets GYG in the same complex. So we're driving down trying to find a car park, and this quite large woman is actually walking through the car park right in front of, like, just straight up the guts. Not even to the side or anything. You couldn't get around her. So anyway, I look at my missus and I'm like, fuck's sakes, come on, like, I'm hungry. I'm starting to get a little bit hangry at this point. I'm like, can't you just use the fucking footpath, for fuck's sakes? Anyway, she gets past the car, pull in. She goes straight to Subway, and I'm like, oh, you can just tell, like, the way she's moving, this is gonna be like a fucking experience. So anyway, I go inside, she goes to GYG, and there's just me and this woman in there. So I'll line up behind her, as you do, and I'm just waiting to start my order. Anyway, she gets 3 6-inch subs, and every single thing she asked for on this sub, she has a story for it. So the first one, I can't honestly remember what half the subs were, except for this one. It was a seafood sub. She goes, oh, that one's my sister's. She's a bit of a foodie. She likes a seafood sub. And I'm just sitting there going, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the Subway person doesn't care. I don't care. Just get it over and done with so we can all just move on with our lives and eat. Anyway, gets to the salad. Oh, yep, what would you like? Oh, well, for this one, I'll have this and this because I don't like any of the other salads. This next one is my husband's. He only has this. He doesn't like any other salads. But this one, that's my sister. She's the foodie, remember? Yes, she'll have a bit of everything, please, except for this and this. And I'm like, this can't get any fucking worse. This is shocking. Gets to the counter. The Subway worker has gone, righto, it's $20, whatever. She proceeds to pull out. Do you remember the old disposable Kodak films that you used to buy in those little canisters? Yeah. That is her purse. So she's pulled out 4 of these canisters and is counting out coins to pay this woman. I'm like, this is just fucked. So, mate, I don't think it's just the Subway workers. I think some of the clients are fuckwits too. Righto, mate. Can't wait to see your live show. Cheers.
Cheers for calling in, Brendan. But yeah, as I discussed Subway earlier, 2 Subway stories in one episode. That's fucking crazy. But yes, I definitely I am on the same page with you. It is not necessarily always the subway workers. I've had a couple of rogue characters myself listening to their subway stories, and maybe that is why subway workers are so fucking insane, is because they have to listen to shit like that all day, every day. And you know what? You might have just changed my mind. I'm going to go to my local subway today, and I'll just be like, I feel so fucking sorry for you guys. I wonder, that might actually be a fun little video. I wonder how far I could push a subway worker. I wonder how far I could just like tell them my entire life story while they're making my sub and just like be the most irritating cunt in the world. That's actually not a bad idea. But thanks again for calling in, brother. And I know you throw us likes and shit almost every week. So thanks for calling in. And thank you for coming to see the live show whenever and wherever that might be. I don't even know. Are you a fucking Brisbane boy? Send me a DM after you listen this week. Because, yeah, that'll be sick if you come into the Good Chat show. But funny clip of the week. Let's wrap up on that, boys. I have been in a rabbit hole over the last couple of weeks. My TikTok has just, like, got me in this pigeonhole of old school Fighter and the Kid clips. And I've said it before, that was probably the first sort of comedy podcast that I started listening to way back in the day, in, like, 2011, 2012-ish kind of era. And it's got me in this rabbit hole of like Theo and Chris D'Elia before they were big known names, and they were just guests on Fighter and the Kid, and just hearing the funny banter and shit they used to have back in the day. So I this is one of my all-time favorite clips of Chris D'Elia on Fighter and the Kid. This wasn't one of the old school ones, but yeah, it makes me fucking laugh every time I hear it.
That they say if you have lots of muscle glycogen, you use the glycogen, your muscles actually...
Shut up.
Thanks, Chris.
Shut up, dude.
But I'm just...
That's boring as fucking all get out.
Dude, come on, let me speak. Let me be...
Glycogen.
Well, look over at me, first of all. Don't
Dude, hey, glycogen is fucking boring to talk about. Dude, hey, let me tell you something. I'll look at you, but when I turn my head, you better be in a lab coat. Because you're talking about glycogen. Now, if you're not in a lab coat, you have to stop talking. Would you look at that?
Makes me laugh every time I fucking see it. But yeah, shout out Fighter and the Kid. I actually spoke to Brendan Schaub last week again, which is sick that he replies to my DMs. But I might talk about what that conversation was about on the UFC Breakdown dropping this Thursday, because it revolves around the UFC and a little conspiracy that I've put together in my head. So while I'm on it, UFC Breakdown this Thursday will be dropping. Other things to plug this week, I'll be back down at a Prey Surf down at Burleigh for the third week in a row on Thursday the 2nd. Friday the 3rd, I've got my headline spot at Guilt Free Comedy, so come along to that one if you're around the area. I don't know if I think socials for that will be getting released today or something, so stay tuned for that. Then the big one, October 7th, Epiphany is at Good Chat Comedy Club. If you haven't got your tickets yet, jump on this week and grab them. Like I said, I want to get as many bodies in that room as I can. If you listen to this and you're not in like the Southeast Queensland region and you can't make it, it would mean the absolute fucking world if you could just share the post onto your stories or something and just say, hey, I listen to this dickhead every week. Please go and fucking watch his show if you're in Brisbane. So would mean the world. The Orion Hotel, we have October 10th. So that one is coming up as well. So get tickets to that one. Other than that, guys, send submissions via DM on Instagram or email me at cantgetanyworsepod@gmail.com. I appreciate the callers this week. Like I've been saying since I started this podcast, genuinely love having a bit of banter with you guys and a bit of back and forth. So thanks again to those that did call in. Other than that, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you all have a ripper week, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. It's always